Okay, so here's a look at the mini PC. Very sleek. It has the same shell as some of their other ones, especially the lower cost ones. KAMRUI, they do a pretty wide variety of stuff, but they often typically go for the stuff that is more budget friendly, which is quite nice in this terrible market that we're in, put it that way. Plastic chassis, but looks nice. You can see there, it has a grill around it, which allows air to be pulled in from the top there, exhaust at the top. The bottom there is just for design. It's actually pulling air in, generally speaking, from that grill around there, exhaust out here. On the front here, we do have power, audio, USB-A, USB-A, USB-C. You're not going to be ripping Thunderbolt 5 or something on here, obviously. Power in, Ethernet. They do tell you to set this thing up off Ethernet, and I'd say the same thing. That's good. DisplayPort and HDMI, and then 4 USB-A. So you get a lot of USB-A on it and 1 USB-C. The nice thing is the USB-C is right in the front. Very good. Let's open it up and have a look. Obviously, you're not taking that top off there or anything like that. You're going to go in through the bottom here. Okay, take out the 4 screws, pop the bottom off just with a plastic thing, and we can get access to it here. So it looks, honestly, it looks pretty nice inside for the spec of what it is. So we do have a single stick of memory here, 16 gigabytes DDR4 memory. Of course, you can upgrade that. You can take that out, put in 2 sticks very easily. And there's extra thermal pad on the bottom. Very nice. SK Hynix memory too, so that's nice. So it's kind of nice that they ship with a single. I mean, in terms of like raw max performance, obviously it's better to have 2 sticks rather than 1. But on the downside, when you have 2 sticks, let's say 8 and 8, when you want to upgrade, you take both of them out, get rid of them. This is just a standard, like the brand is what it is, but this is just a standard SK Hynix stick here, so at 266. So you can slap in, you can pick up another SK Hynix DDR4, which is kind of merciful in this market, slap that in there, and all of a sudden you have more RAM. But 16 will be fine, honestly, for what it is. We do have the SSD. The first one here, it is an NVMe SATA SSD, so you can see it has 2 prongs there. It's going to run at around 500 megabytes a second. SATA, totally fine. Still an SSD, right? So still going to be relatively fast. And you have a second one here, which is an NVMe. Easy to step up the storage by just adding a second. You can leave that. You could flip them if need be, but that's more than enough for just operating system stuff, whatever, no problems. Flip another one on there, and if you want to upgrade the storage, it's easy to do there. If you want to take out the motherboard, I mean, you don't have to, but you certainly could take out the motherboard here. Just pop that out, and then you can see what's going on there. Now it does have the pretty thick piece of metal in there, and as a result, it's going to run quite quiet. It's not a super high wattage system by any means, but easy to upgrade, nice to see. Pop that back on, and we'll continue. Okay, so here is the little device here. It's all set up. I've actually had it for a couple days now, just kind of been messing about with it. No real problems there. Specs, performance, all that kind of stuff. So we can see here that the little CPU in there idles around 3 to 5, something around there. So it's not a beast by any means. It's not meant to be. It's actually below 3. It's around 2 or so. I'll flash in the wall power being pulled at idle. It's very low. I mean, we're looking at under 10 watts from the wall with everything going on. Usually around like 6 or 7, so very low. Even when it's actually doing stuff. I mean, obviously it'll be representative of the watts that it's pulling in that situation. But generally speaking, it's not pulling very many watts. Doesn't need it. We're just idling at a few watts here. So nice and quiet, nice and cool. Temperatures are nothing as a result because it's not really doing anything. So that's fantastic there. And as a result, it's also completely silent. When it's not doing anything, why would it produce any noise? It doesn't make sense. So I did a run of Cinebench here, and obviously when we're doing a run of Cinebench, it's not going to be a monster or anything like that. It's not meant to be. That's not the type of chip we're looking at here. It's a little AMD embedded type thing. Come in here, just look at the specs specifically. So we do have that R2544. I've already tested this before in a different device. Don't remember what brand it was, but it works just fine. It's a little 4-core processor, 8 threads. It's, again, not meant to be a monster by any means. It's meant to be a little box that you use to put under a TV, for example. Might be, if anything, it's overkill for that, but that's fine. You can put it under a TV, use it as a little like TV box, but it's more in line with, you can use it as like a media server, file server type thing, hook it up to a NAS, hook it up to a DAS, that type of thing, or you can use this type of product as a day-to-day computer. If you don't need lots of like heavy processing, you're just doing word processing, school type work, business management, that kind of stuff, you absolutely don't need more power than this at all. Like, it's a true quad core. Right? I recently tested a dual core when that was fine. Honestly, it wasn't a problem. A little gold, but this offers obviously a lot more power than that. So that's good. Nice little thing there. The RAM, as I said before, is fully expandable. It only comes with 1 stick of DDR4. If you added in a second stick of memory, the CPU would be more performant because then you'd be in dual channel. So you could probably expect a fairly decent bump on that, honestly, if you added in a second stick. But it's 100% your choice. You do not have to do that. It's fine. Your SSD there, it's just a SATA type SSD. Wi-Fi, no problems there. We'll test that as well. And we have graphics here. This is not going to be like 780M graphics. It's basically Vega graphics. Actually, you can do some basic gaming on it. Emulation type stuff would be more what you're looking at. But I mean, indie titles, that kind of stuff would be fine. Honestly, it's a Vega graphics. It's really not a problem whatsoever. Okay, so again, totally silent under idle. There is nothing to measure. There's a dryer on down the hall, way down the hall. You can hear that. You can't hear this computer at all. And it's also not a high wattage system or anything like that, so we're going to run that and see what we can get here. There's a bird. The neighbors have a bird. I can hear that outside. Can't hear this computer at all. It's completely silent. Once it goes for a while, it might produce some noise, but I mean, 25 watt, where did it go there? CPU package power, 15 watt right there. And we're kind of just sitting at 12. So it is not a high wattage system by any means. And so you may look at this like raw score and be like, it's not the best thing in the world. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a quiet, cool, silent, low power machine. Not actually sure why I'm showing you the dB meter. There is no sound. It doesn't produce any sound. So there's literally no sound coming out of this machine. So if you want silence, this is probably the way to go. Again, under a TV, that kind of thing, media server type box, day-to-day computing, put it in your business, this type of thing. It's going to be more than enough, to be honest. Again, not a powerful, big wattage monster or anything like that, but it's doing just fine here. No problems whatsoever. So there you go. That's that there. Okay, so I popped in just kill that, second stick. What I actually did is I took out that stick and put in 2 8s, so it's still 16 gigabytes, same exact amount of RAM, still runs at 266 mega transfers, so the speed is the same in that regards, but you can see the score actually went up. I mean, it actually went up a fair bit, so 2859 to 3265, so that's a 400 point increase, which is more than 10%. That's like 14% increase in performance. It's actually not bad considering I just doubled up the RAM. So yeah, I mean, the way that it ships is more than capable for the average person. It's more about like what you're going to use this thing is more about like it works well and it has 16 gigabytes of RAM versus a lot of systems that ship with 8, which is not enough. So that's fantastic. Here it's like, okay, I guess if you wanted to, you could increase more, or if you wanted to add more later, like an extra 8 gigabyte stick, take it up to 32 for whatever reason, then it's just going to be dual channel and run faster. It does what it's supposed to do. It's within its niche. I have no problems with it. I'm not going to compare it to like a Strix Halo. That doesn't make sense, right? It's a fraction of the price and not meant to be like that. So again, that was the full run. So I think we can probably just kind of mess about here, do a little, I guess I'd call it like, come in here. The included SSD, no problems there whatsoever. Reasonable speeds. And the Wi-Fi, also just reasonable. My uploads suck, just by the way, so you don't know. They're terrible. I can get better Wi-Fi if I have a bigger system. It'll get better than that, but that's totally fine. I mean, what are you downloading this thing that needs more than 200 megabytes a second? So I mean, you're gonna be totally fine with that. And of course, if I can turn it around, it has Ethernet. So a lot of people would actually hook this up as a little server type thing, little file server type thing, or little media box. Then you could just use Ethernet. Wouldn't even worry about it. That's fine. Okay, we can see the front USB-C. It's just also SATA speeds, 5 gigabit per second, so totally fine there. No problems with the front either. So if you need, okay, and the front port here just ran through one little bit. The USB-A. So the USB-A is going to be the slower ports. I mean, they're fine for a little USB, like these type of things, basically for file transfer. It's actually no problem with that, but I wouldn't run games off it or anything like that. The USB-C on the front is where you're going to get the fast one. So if you are running faster type enclosures, these are going to be what you're going to want to run off of the front USB-C. So it is nice that it does include a fast USB there, no problems. And then the rest are just for peripherals and that kind of stuff. Okay, so this actually does not have to be the most complicated video. I mean, this is a very low cost machine that is expandable. So let's come in here. What we're going to do now is we're actually just going to do some, like, I guess I'd call it like more complicated tasks. We'll get a few things going at one time and see if the system chokes at all. Windows tasks and see how this thing performs in sort of a multitasking type scenario. So what we'll do here is we'll open up that, because again, it's a lower performance chip, so people may be like, it's too slow. That's fine. So we're gonna put that up there. We can see the CPU, it was working obviously a second ago. Now I close down Cinebench and it's no longer doing that. So we'll come over here and we'll just get some stuff running. So maybe we'll get some YouTube running. We'll get some, I don't know, moving around in Windows stuff coming. Okay, let's come in here. We'll do some YouTube. Reaching around my camera. It actually worked okay. Sure, we'll look at a MacBook, sure. Let's not do it on Bing. Cool. Anyway, so this is running here. Let's put it up to, let's put a higher thing. So let's see what 1080p does. 1080p encoding. Give it a sec. The CPU is not doing anything. Right? 7%. So obviously that's not going to make a difference. Like having YouTube playing and then like doing some heavy browsing. Browsing actually is probably harder on the CPU because it hits it. It slams it a little bit harder in like single instances. So we'll go like that here. And we'll go, I can't reach. Okay, I don't remember searching that. Maybe I did. KAMRUI mini PCs. So you can see the CPU goes up when you're browsing. This is still running 1080p in the background. And you can come in here and you can look at some of the stuff in here. Kind of see what's going on. That's well, I actually looked at that one before in the past. These guys specialize in more affordable stuff, which is pretty important in this market where everything's kind of really expensive. Very cool. Go like that, make that a little bigger. All right, just doing some basic stuff here. Let's go back here. KAMRUI, we can go into Amazon, right? Then the CPU is at like, it's peaking under like when it loads in a website with all the graphics and all that, 35, 40, 60. You're not even overburdening the CPU while this is running. So if you're using this as a daily type system for basic stuff, you have your video playing here on the side, 1080p, 60, whatever, and then you're doing other things, right? Like maybe you have a Word document up over here, right? You're working on a document over here. Let's just throw that over there. Right, do that kind of thing. Typing up your essay, you're looking at websites for research type stuff, flipping through no problems, with a video to distract you on the side there, right? It's fine. That's kind of what the thing is going to be totally fine at doing. There's going to be no problems here whatsoever. This is a totally different, actually, I think I reviewed that one. I don't know. What else they got in here? KAMRUI store. They have all kinds of stuff. I've actually looked at quite a few of their products. That's probably it right there. No, but maybe it's that one. I've looked at a couple other products. Anyways, so you can see here, it's no problem, right? So if you're using this thing as a daily driver type device, as long as you're not doing like, heavy 4K video editing or something, obviously that's not going to be great. You're going to have no problems, right? Put up to 1440p encoding, no difference. Let's just go all the way up to 4K. Just to prove that it's not going to be a problem. So now we'll go up to 4K. It will increase the CPU load, but it's not that much of a CPU load, right? Most of this burden is actually just like YouTube itself. The internet is more than fast enough to encode a video without any problems. You can see the CPU is doing nothing really, right? We're at 8% once it's loaded in, maybe 10 to 20 at most, right? We're coming in here, we're looking at different stuff, and it's fine, right? Absolutely no problems using this system as a daily driver type product for reasonable use, right? Just be reasonable with it. Like, what are you doing out of this thing? If you want a more powerful one, then you can step it up. Like even these guys, they have more powerful ones. Like they can get some pretty powerful stuff from these guys. Depending on what you're looking at, you can step it up. I think they have a new one that's like really, let's see here, hot. Yeah, this is the one here we're looking at today. Where did it go? Yeah, here it is right here. Cool. Apparently these are their specs. All right, so it's an embedded CPU. It's just going to be more capable than some older thing, obviously. So some people would say, like, why don't you just grab like a 4-year-old used mini PC, which you could do. You can do that, of course. But you could buy this, right? This is going to come with RAM. It's going to come with an SSD, and it comes with a modern CPU, right? A modern CPU, not an old CPU, modern CPU, which does make a difference here. That's actually the system right there. And it's going to be totally capable. So no problems there whatsoever. It's going to get the job done.